All right. Here we
Hello.
are. Hello. So it's time to get into the nitty gritty of automation, LLMs, and anything to do with AI today. So my name is Elliott, and I am the founder of EKB Labs. I try my best to help companies turn AI into an actual, not just a buzzword, but into actually working systems. I build chatbots, data pipelines, and full stack automations that cut the busy work out and try and lift revenue from businesses alike. Coaching founders, training in-house teams, and publish open workflows so more people can work smarter, not harder, and not even longer. With me today is my co-host Michael. So Michael, tell people a little bit about yourself, what you do.
What I do is trying to learn from you. I see that you're making real impact, and that's very inspiring. So that's really setting me into a course of understanding AI even better as a normal guy, and how can it make our lives better and easier, indeed what you said. So. And
Thanks
my
for
name is Michael.
Yes, I see that I've moved our names off the grid now. As yes, it's I've moved them off so as we change the banners. So without further ado, in the past week, what did you notice with anything in AI? Like what shifted?
What shifted in AI is the speed it all is going on. The speed is immense. How things keep changing, keeps evolving. What else I can tell? What I noticed in AI, that companies are still struggling how to implement AI. It's getting more and more scared of it, while they should actually embrace it and help their employees with it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And people are afraid of change, and a lot of people are thinking, well, I already have a workflow that works now. I'll just use ChatGPT like an assistant if I need to write something quicker. And with current clients or past clients, it's exposing them to what is currently available. I know there is a lot of talk about ethics and the privacy concerns, but if you're not putting in sensitive data and you are using these tools, you have to be mindful that anything you input is, going to be shared with these companies. So you have a lot of people and security experts saying about, the warning signs of AI and its, the ethical bounds. I don't want to say a gray area, but it seems like the race to AGI has been really pushing what the limitations are. If I'm not mistaken, Claude, so Anthropic's LLM, is using an agent, their own internal agent, to understand processes right now that humans can't. So they're training and building on with their own internal agents.
It's beautiful. If you think about it, the capabilities we are having right now, and not to be on the forefront with it, it's. I don't know if you're if you remember, it might be a little bit before your time, but the moment actually the mobile phone came out, we said like, who wants a mobile phone with them, right? If you have any questions or whatsoever, you can actually go to my house or send a letter. Nobody actually believed it's going to be something big till it actually became big. Now, with that, you had the internet, you had YouTube. Everybody was thinking like, oh, the internet, who's going to use that? Till it actually was widespread and everybody started using it.
Yeah.
And now we have AI. AI, if I'm not mistaken, it's like, besides the actual industrial revolution, it's going to be the biggest thing we have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody noticed that. And what I noticed as well is that not everybody goes along with the ride. So I think there is like a stigma around it, what you said, that it's scary, while it's, if you understand, maybe it might not be as scary like a mobile phone. When we understand it, it was actually less scary than it actually is. And now it's part of our left or right arm. It's just an extension of our lives now. And I think AI is going to be the same thing. And I think an interesting thing is what you said is that the AI, LLMs, when you use them, there are privacy concerns and you have to watch out what you have to put in. Is there a LLM, like if I'm not mistaken, OpenAI, that's the ChatGPT, what everybody actually is using, the most widespread version, actually uses your input. And I think Claude is not, right? Or do I say something crazy now?
No, so OpenAI is the most widely known and broadly used. For example, I had a client I spoke with on Friday, and he said that his daily driver has been GPT and didn't consider other LLMs or didn't consider other alternatives because he had all his workflows and everything was working through there. But of course, people that are in the space know that you can utilize, and if you're at the forefront or understanding what's changing, is there's a lot of free, like a lot of potential in each of the free options. So, for example, using 4.0 in ChatGPT, as it says up here, great for most tasks. So most people use that and think, okay, I'm gonna, AI is not giving me the right results. Why is it like this? And over all of the, the past 8 months of, a lot of conversations back and forth with technical people, non-technical people, breaking it down, saying, have you tried using other models? And a lot of it was, I didn't know there were more. You can use, there's another one.
Like every other month there is going to be an update, right?
If I'm not mistaken, GPT-5 has already been scraped on Google. You can now do, is it GPT, like in quotation marks, GPT-5, in quotes, site chatgpt.com, and you can see that GPT-5 is already, being listed there. So GPT-5 is coming, and I'm very curious to see what the benchmarking will be like for GPT-5, because
I think it will be mind-blowing.
Well, I think that there have been like incremental, increases. The people who are using GPT 4.0, 5 will be like their, let's say the new standard. And with it will not just be a new change of models, it will be a change of how people use it. Because when I think about if I look at the ChatGPT 5 or GPT-5, what the biggest fear is, and because there's capacity, because hundreds of millions of users using it daily. It was one of the fastest to reach downloads and then actively daily users, and going through the motions. So I'll just bring this over here. You can see that it says OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has openly admitted feeling scared about the upcoming release of GPT-5, the newest and most powerful version of ChatGPT. Scheduled to launch in August 2025, ChatGPT-5 is expected to significantly surpass its predecessors in speed and capability. When the CEO of a company says he's scared, like that's a precursor to what's coming.
Yeah.
And it is genuinely terrifying, but also if you understand it a bit more and get ahead of it, the fear lessens over time. It will take there is a website called what is 2027, if I'm not mistaken, and it is AI 2027, and there's a blueprint Yes, AI 2027. This is a website that is predicting the impact of superhuman AI over the next decade. It will be enormous, exceeding that of the Industrial Revolution, just like you said before. So
Yeah.
exceeding that. We wrote a scenario that represents our best guess about what that might look like. It's informed by trend extrapolations, war games, expert feedback, experience at OpenAI, and previous forecasting successes. So where we are, published April 3rd this year, mid-2025, stumbling agents. Everyone's talking about the buzzword AI agent, automation, AI agent. And a lot of people are still, what's an automation, what's an agent? And a quick Google search will break it down. But then when you actually look in a deep dive of where the personal assistant agent versus the automation workflow. So like an autonomous agent will be doing things. And I watched a video from John O'Catliff, and it was like when you're building like an automation, like building an IKEA desk, and you've got like 8 steps, and an automation will go from step 1 to step 8 in succession. If there's an error, it will just stop. But an agent will, okay, let's say it stops at step 6. It will go, okay, I'm not going to stop here. I need to go back to, let's say, step 4, and then work on it to make sure that it actually fulfills the end. So
that's called the autonomous agent, right?
No, that's the difference between an automation and an AI agent, because an agent will go back and rectify and find a solution without, autonomously without the input of a human.
Yep.
So there has been a really wonderful video by AI in Context on YouTube, and he basically broke it down into a really well edited and really good story on what is expected and where we are going. So as you can see here, this is the sort of the timeline. So this is from September. So we're almost there. Almost there. So right now, as we scroll down, I'm not going to go through it too much. So GPT-3 is this dot. GPT-4 is this dot. Now, GPT-5 is going to be somewhere in here.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. So late 2025, OpenBrain is building the biggest data centers the world has ever seen. To avoid singling out any one existing company, we're going to describe a fictional artificial general intelligence company, which we all call OpenBrain. We imagine that the others to be 3 to 9 months behind OpenBrain. And they're discussing about
3 to 9 months. It's a lot in AI world.
But that's like a global race there.
Yeah.
So GPT-4 required 2 to the power of 2 times to the 10th to the power of 25 flop of compute to train. OpenBrain's latest public model Agent 0 was trained with 10 to the power 27 FLOP. Once new data centers are up and running, they'll be able to train a model with 10 to the 28th flop, 1,000 times more than GPT-4. So just 1 digit change in the to the power of is 1,000 times.
Yep.
So in that little diagram there, 10 to the power 23, 25, 27, and then 28.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing. And then it's a little bit quiet right now, but they're working on the quantum computing. If this is gonna morph together, it's gonna be crazy. But I think if you circle back right now, right, the AI agents, and as part that and a bit automations, if you look at everything you are encountering right now when you're helping your clients, what is their biggest struggle at the moment? Is it to understand what is going to come, what they can do right now with it, what we already have, or is it just basic prompting? Even you just said it, right, that the ChatGPT 4.0 is being used. He or she did not even know there were other models out there. So is it the general knowledge is missing at the moment?
I think it's a number of things. It can be a range of general awareness, but not willing to change or adapt the workflow to, let's say, learn a new process. Because if you're not a tech enthusiast, most of the world is like, whatever, AI, cool. It's, I'm safe. I'm like a whatever type of person. But it is encroaching in every field. And with the knowledge and the exposure, you can put yourself ahead just a little bit. If you're an entrepreneur, like it's definitely extremely beneficial to entrepreneurs who can sit down and sort of understand at how they can utilize it. And a lot of people are just using it as like their personal assistant, like the Apple and Amazon's Alexa and those personal assistants have been good, except for Apple's has been, I want to say, appalling without any modifications or integrations with ChatGPT. Simply because I do not know how we can be in such a technological advancement and the S word still can't, like, could you please repeat that? I'm sorry, please unlock your iPhone to do this. And it's like, how we have RAG workflows with deep agent pipelines that can autonomously connect through Telegram bots, and yet
without unlocking it
can run 24/7 if you're hosting your NA10 workflow through a VPS server. So it can run unlimited workflows, unlimited executions, whenever and however you need it, for a fraction of the cost, without any break. So if you need to be scraping data, it can just do that nonstop and put it into a spreadsheet. So to touch back on the agent section, there's currently around 10,000 unreliable agent copies thinking at 12 times human speed. So when you take into consideration, let's say the 10,000 agents that are around, and then the hundreds of thousands of people using these daily, the people that are playing around and they are basically utilizing like the playground or just trying and testing the agent capabilities, because some of the businesses I've been working with, they need scalable systems that just work. They don't care how cool the thing is. They just like, will it get me from A to B? Will it do it without errors? And
as much as continuously, of course.
Do you have any people in your network or sphere that are trying to experiment with that?
I have literally no one in my sphere who's trying to experiment with it, but they are thinking about it. So when I ask the question, what do you want to automate in your daily tasks? Like, are there any daily tasks you are just tired of doing, which you don't like about your job, which can be done autonomous? And how would that look like? How would that be set up? Then they start thinking about it. Oh yeah, actually something can make my life easier and make my work actually more fun, because now I can focus on the things I actually like. And that whole mindset is, it's not yet there. I think the agent world or AI world where agents are working and live, it's not yet promoted enough for people to think about that daily without somebody showing them or reminding them, hey, this is all possible. Do you know that?
I believe that it's like, it hasn't hit mainstream media. Only the doom and gloom hits mainstream media, and
which is a pure shame.
There has been a ton of, let's say, other preoccupying matters that have been flooding mainstream media, and AI is only one aspect of the global economy and the global influence, but it is very significant in how businesses and people are fundamentally working. And I listened to a podcast episode with his name's not Dylan, Tom Dillon, or I'm not sure of his name. It's on the Diary of a CEO, and he was explaining how the younger generations are, because they're in a technological boom that it's going to be very interesting to see the research that is going to be studied on people who are using these, LLMs, because people are, humans will inherently take the path of least resistance as often as possible. And
Yep.
for myself to
Just human
counteract
nature.
for myself to counteract that, I have a system prompt that acts like a Socratic coach. So it makes you have to think. The amount of times that I've gone, oh, I've just groaned. I'm like, oh man, like. So by challenging myself within the LLMs and then testing those prompts across multiple LLMs and using different models have been really, useful to understand what it is.
Deep dive a little bit more into that, because you said that, because this is amazing as well, right? You have what I do notice with people in my sphere and professionally in other companies, they are using, just let's say, stick with ChatGPT for now.
Yeah, we'll keep it easy.
Yeah, just let's keep it easy, right? So they type, please calculate this number, or what is this, and how do we do that? They just copy paste without thinking anymore, and they become, how to say this? They become lazy.
They become dependent on their assistant.
Yeah, let's say let's keep it that way. So once you're dead, you don't utilize it to benefit you to actually grow as a person, something I know you're standing for. And you just confirm that by saying that you have a GPT setup to do actually just that when you're down or whatsoever. Are we able to go a little bit into that or not?
Of course, yeah. So when it comes to, like, for example, like Socratic coaching or like prompts, so to sort of segue a little bit into prompts and how people can utilize this and then actually read through what the answers are. So just like you're reading a book, you're not going to try and skip multiple pages ahead. You want to actually read through to follow the story. So if you don't mind, I'm going to read out this prompt, which is from Ruben Hassid on LinkedIn. Like, just incredible stuff that he talks about in posts and just the value he provides. So act like an expert AI strategist. Objective: deeply analyze our chat history and stored memory to uncover detailed patterns about my habits, goals, preferences, work style, and personal interests. Based on this thorough memory-driven understanding, provide me with 10 highly personalized, high leverage, and unconventional ways of utilizing AI tools and methods available today or in the very near future, which I have not yet explored or considered. Approach with complete these steps precisely. Step 1. Comprehensive memory analysis. Thoroughly review our full chat history to extract subtle details of my habits, personal and professional goals, recurring challenges, decision-making style, and unique interests. Step 2. Deep AI opportunity discovery. Identify 20 novel, highly customized, and lesser-known applications of current AI technology. Go beyond standard AI tools like ChatGPT basic usage. By searching the web, you must search the web to be relevant. Step 3. Personalization and relevance filtering. Filter these opportunities rigorously, retaining only those explicitly aligned with my personal characteristics discovered in Step 1. Step 4. Scoring and prioritization. Score each idea clearly by potential impact, 0 to 10, considering long-term value to my life/work, implementation ease, 0 to 10, ease of initial adoption, novelty/unconventionality, 0 to 10.
Difficult word. Yeah.
How unique or unexpected it is. Calculate a leverage score equals impact times novelty divided by ease plus 1. Now that calculation might be confusing, but it will make sense later. Step 5, selection of top 10 ideas. Choose the 10 highest leverage scoring ideas, ensuring diversity, covering multiple life domains. Step 6, highly detailed blueprint for each idea. Idea name, concise, memorable, why specifically relevant to me, so detailed memory-driven reasoning, core AI technology / tools required, specific current AI platforms, APIs, plugins, no-code solutions. First 3 actionable steps, immediately actionable detailed instructions, potential challenges and mitigations, so privacy, complexity, cost, over-dependence. Step 8, reflective prompts. End by inviting me to specify which ideas resonate most strongly or suggest areas for even deeper exploration next. Take a deep breath and work on this step by step. And when I saw him post that, he had in the screenshot using O3. So using the advanced reasoning model. So not using O4 mini at fast at advanced reasoning, not O4 mini high, which is great at coding and visual reasoning, and definitely not 4.0 because it will not have the same contextual limitation that 4.0. So 4.0 will have a contextual limitation, and O3 could just think harder and with a much more robust response.
So just to interrupt you, right, Elliott, is that this is why it's important just to understand where the differences are laying within the LLM's models. So when do you use actually 4.0, when do you use 3.0, when do you use mini high, etc.?
So for an example, this should be here. This is a live benchmark for like the scoring. So based on, if I don't know, is for contamination-free LLM benchmark based on it's for new agentic coding tasks. Models must operate in a real development environment to solve real-world repository issues. If there is like questions that need to be answered and like the tests and what you would like a global average of like reasoning and whatnot. So you have this many models.
That's so many.
Yeah. So right now topping is O3. The global average is O3 Pro High, which is $200 a month by OpenAI.
Oh, that's the expensive baby. Yep.
Yeah. Because it has a lot of compute power. And for example, Grok 4, like these like 2 points are marginal. But if you look at the reasoning average, Grok 4 tops the charts. Coding average, O4 mini high. Like I said, great for visual and coding. So right now, O4 mini high is as of 3 days ago. No, sorry. As of 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, it says the change log up to the 30th of May. But Grok 4 is a little bit after May. So mathematical average, Grok 4 tops it. A data analysis average is an open source free model from Qwen. The 235 billion parameter that was released on the 25th of July, so only like 8 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. And because it's open source, or it's not paid, you can, if you use OpenRouter, can have the API and you can connect that with agentic workflows. So you could have a data analysis model running in the back end that can almost rival, I don't want to say Claude Code because O3 High is beating Claude Opus, but for the price that when you have using Claude Opus,
I think Claude Opus is like like $20 a month or something like that.
So for the base level, you've got Claude free, and then you have Sonnet 4 and Opus 4 currently as their top 2 models. Opus 4 obviously will use a lot more of your usage, but if you go to 5 times Pro and you go on the max subscription, or 20 times, that's when it ramps up from $20 to $100 and $200. However, the benefit if you use, let's say, Claude Code, you don't need the API access. You can still use your Pro subscription. You will just hit your limitation faster if you use Opus in a terminal or any coding, like VS Code or Visual Studio, Windsurfer, Cursor, or in my case, Terminal with Claudia.
And I think, Elliott, sorry to interrupt you, because I think we go a little bit quick here into the discussion, because you said Claude Code. Claude Code is something I recently have just been playing around with. Recently, I really mean 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm actually impressed about it, but it's not mainstream as well yet. It's kept pretty quiet.
It really is mainstream if you are following, like, let's say you've optimized your social feeds to learn this. And once you cut out the noise, you can really hone in on what it is. So we've gone a little bit off on tangent, but regarding the models and in ChatGPT, for instance, using the advanced reasoning from O3, it's quite hard to reach on the Plus subscription on ChatGPT to reach the usage limits. You have to be going at, let's say, superhuman speeds to actually hit that limit, because they've obviously advanced it a little bit more. They've got more data centers, and they've expanded enough for that. Yeah. So when you look at that very detailed and deep prompt, it's got a lot of context. It's not just zero-shotting. It's got a step-by-step approach that if you were to do the same thing, the same output with 4.0, you would get a vastly different response than if you were to do it with 03 or 04 mini high. There might be slight variational changes. You could say create a visual chart. 03 might struggle with that, but 04 mini high wouldn't. If you were to use the same prompt in Gemini 2.5 Pro, you could create a canvas and then build an infographic website, because it's baked into the canvas, and you can build a code from that. And with the same with Claude, you can create an interactive artifact, which will then create an HTML infographic, which you can then download, share, or create. So when people think, oh, I don't know where to start, I'm stuck, I don't know what it is, a lot of people are utilizing what comes across their feeds, these viral creators talking about AI and this and that, making it real simple. Just comment the word in and I'll send you the thing. Because people are so lazy, they don't want to just go to because they're just sitting on the bus. They're like, I'm not going to just leave Instagram. I'm in my tech doom scroll. I'm not going to leave Instagram right now and go to that website, but I'm going to comment now and I'm going to go back to it later. And 9 times out of 10, guilty myself, do not go back. That's really cool.
Guilty as charged.
Exactly. If you haven't done that, are you human or are we talking with an AI? So would you like to see the response it gave me?
Definitely, man. That's what we're here for.
All right. So
good to know that it actually understood the prompt. It starts with understood. That's good news.
Yeah. So it's great that this is very personalized, and I don't want to give away, too much information on things, but like it says, I'm in Ursinów, Mazovia, Poland. I'm not in Ursinów, but okay, at least it got the localization right, UTC +2.
Yep.
During conversations, you consistently emphasize accuracy, recency, and thoroughness. You insist on converting relative times into absolute dates. You prefer structure-cited answers, dislike long sentences and tables, and ask for confirmation before irreversible actions. Unlike the production value of the code base of one company that LLM just deleted it all, the production code. Yeah. So always confirm before making any irreversible actions. You enjoy delegating routine tasks, travel planning, meeting notes, etc. Appreciate deep research and show curiosity about how emerging technologies can improve your personal and professional life. These patterns suggest you value productivity, continuous learning, and ethics, but also mental well-being, organization, and sustainable living. So that last sentence is pretty hit the nail on the head, because sometimes you can't think about like, how could I describe this? This literally sums it up. 20 AI opportunities discovered. A web search surfaced numerous applications of AI beyond the usual chatbots. Some notable themes include AI therapy and journaling. Modern mental health chatbots like, Wissa, and Wobot offer CBT based self-help. Now, I didn't know about these because I was building my own, which I called Vivian, because I wanted to play around and see if I could build one and have not have to be paying $20 a month for another tool. Self-help, mood tracking, 24/7 availability. Now, CBT, so cognitive behavioral therapy, is what we pay licensed and obviously licensed and educated professionals to do. Now, when I was saying earlier about no industry is safe at all, because if we can do something, a superhuman can do it 10 times or 12, at the moment, 12 times better. So we're going to see a resurgence of, in not even in-person meetings, but the flip side of all this AI talking AI is that people are going to want to have that human connection. But when AGI is turning the AI connection into almost human-like, like we've got life-like, it's changing week by week, like life-like reproductions of, like there's a new tool released every 6 hours, because you've got millions of vibe coders just popping stuff out,
going crazy,
just creating something. And so new services. Go on.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you again. Kind of an interrupting tour today, but I think what is interesting is that what you said, like the growth and the quality is crazy. The enhancements going like day by day. If you look at the videos made with avatar, so a recreation of yourself or someone else or something else actually talking, it was very wonky. The eye might just flip. and just crazy stuff happening, right?
It was so freaky that people didn't believe, like, what the heck is this?
This is actually scary at some point. Yeah, but then the mouth stayed at the right spot. The eye actually didn't move anymore, and it became more natural. And the other day, I think it's on your website where you have the promo video where you actually talk. It's you cannot see the difference anymore. It's the people who know how to work with AI, they know it. You cannot see the difference anymore. And what it was the other day, there was a brand, I will have to look that up, who actually, I think it was a luxurious brand actually AI in the marketing industry for their marketing and their promo videos as well. Only AI generated. I will get back to that later. I will just have to figure out which brand that was.
For example, Higgsfield completely redefined it.
Yep.
Higgsfield has come out with, like, how on earth could you distinguish that from a human?
From reality.
First glance? Nah. A candid photo of an Austrian woman casually sipping a glass of red wine while seated at a sunlit terrace in Lecce, Italy. She wears a relaxed, softly flowing striped blouse in muted earth tones, paired with comfortable beige linen pants. Like, you have to be so descriptive, because, like I tell all clients, if you don't know how to do it, talk, like, try closing your eyes and explain what you want to a toddler. If a toddler just looks at you and goes, huh? And you say, go get a spoon. They come back with a spoon. You say, no, I don't want that. I want you to bring me the bowl with the spoon. And that's when you end up going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And there's only a certain limitation of context, that if you are sending, let's say in one chat, 45 messages, a contextual window with 4.0 is going to be significantly smaller than, let's say, with 0.3. So using more condensed and precise prompts will garner you something, with much better effect. And you have a lot of publicly available information of how to do it. People are saying, I don't know how to do this. And people are contacting me saying, hey, how do you do this? How can I do that? And I'm like, hey, look, let's just walk through it together. And, you're going to see immediate value, because whatever you've been trying up till now hasn't been working. Like another one of the video things is Minimax.
So just a quick one. So the most actually that is what I see in my sphere of people, is that they actually do not know how to prompt. And one thing what I say, and that's something you said to me, by the way, is that if you don't get the output you want, you didn't prompt right enough.
If your input is crap, the output is crap. And
exactly that.
Fair enough that sometimes it can have an error. It is generative AI. It's generating and it can make mistakes. But the more specifics you put, like you saw how large that prompt was, the better you get. So
it was very concise.
Yeah, exactly. So what's currently on screen is Aleph or Aleph, however they pronounce it, from Runway ML. It's generation 4. That this is literally changing the game. So
yeah, look how
you can change scenes, edit, transform, and generate. I can't even describe, like, just add dramatic lighting with just, come on.
Change the weather. Yep, go nuts.
So, in this, label this as AI generated content. This could be human shot, but you are now altering it with AI, but you can do exactly the same thing with manual stock edits and color grading everything like this in Premiere Pro. But where's the line where what is AI generated and what is actually like the new standard of editing? Because, as a ex video editor myself, not amazing, just enough to get by to, understand how to edit my shots. Simply that now you can, if you combine Higgsfield with, let's say, Aleph, and you've got a full storyboard and like a whole, like let's say a marketing team, and you've got like one marketer going, okay, cool, I've got the creative mind. We can do all this and we can create all these really cool shots. So the creativity side is really booming, and
we'll even go more creative because it's, can we try this? Can we do this without the limitation of costs and buying more lighting or buying CGI? You can just type in text, what do you want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I see you're back again on ChatGPT. The output.
Yes. So looking at the opportunities and the evidence, Notion's Q&A feature uses a retrieval augmented generation to answer questions by searching across your documents. It protects privacy by only accessing pages you have permission to view. Now, I use Notion's AI feature really well because I want to build a database and I don't know exactly how to do it, but I will write it in plain text. And if I'm still not sure, I'll just quickly run it through one of the LLMs to go, hey, stylize this, format this, and make it cohesive for Notion AI to understand. And then you can, either adopt expert roles to do that, and then build a full database that you can then connect with an MCP server or directly through one of the connectors like you can with Claude. So moving on, Clio is an application which when I work with one of my clients, they actually use Clio on a daily basis. So AI financial assistance, apps like Clio analyze spending and provide witty budget feedback. Plum and Digit automate savings by analyzing income, expenses, and cash flow patterns. Most modern banking apps do have their, that people say, I can't manage my spending. And it's like, yes, you actually can. You just have to go in and actually look at what you're spending. If you have Revolut, Wise, Monzo, and whatever bank, like if the banking application.
Any bank does it these days, but that makes you have to look in those apps yourself.
Exactly. And the risk you have with these external applications is, especially with data breaches and data privacy, especially with, let's say, apps that are vibe coded. We recently touched on the topic of the T app that has been doing the rounds. And I know you're going to research that when we finish.
I am going to.
There was a Firebase bucket of all people's women's data of, when they say, we just take the photos and ID verification and then we delete it right away. Turns out from 2024 in February, they have been storing all of that data with the EXIF data, the metadata, and everything. And someone hacked, whoever did it, a open public bucket on Firebase. and it's really hard to screw up security on Firebase. And it was just open publicly with basically just like walking into a room and everyone standing there. And that's a huge data leak, and it was tens of thousands, if I'm not mistaken. And people have, it was leaked on 4chan, and people had been creating, like vibe coding apps based on the data of so it's just an absolute frenzy. So
that's a madhouse.
When you have Plum and Digit automate savings by analyzing the income, you're then giving your data to another external provider, and you don't know if they're going, if they really have a track record of it's impossible to know that you're never going to get hacked, or because someone can just be playing around pen testing and they just accidentally get into in a back door. Obviously they've got to be doing it with an intention, of course, but there is always some.
You never know.
Yeah. So nutrition and metabolic coaches, apps like Elma, Snap Calorie, and Healthify Me, use machine learning and computer vision to log meals and suggest recipes tailored to preferences. Now, this is from Tribe AI, so it cited the website directly as well.
Yeah.
With all of these, it's coming from cited websites, and you can. One thing I always do, or I try to, if I'm doing a deep research, I'll say you will cite it from multiple sources that have corroborating evidence, so that you're not just pulling from some automated blog post that it's not a reputable source, because there's a whole SEO and GEO, so generative engine optimization at the moment,
and you keep the hallucinating to the bare minimum in that case as well.
I don't remember the last time it hallucinated so wild that it would just be off by a couple of digits or something. So it was, the fact checking has been limited to, it's not as complex for the hallucinations if you prompt correctly. If you prompt provide me a recipe on X, it's going to try and pull so many different sources. But if you just are discussing something specific, it will hallucinate a ton less.
Then I think you have to then as well work with the temperature of the LLM, right? So
that would be in the back end, yeah. So if you want it to be as close to it, the temperature would be, let's say 0.3 if you want it to be really strict. But that would be when you run something through the API console, as opposed to someone correct me if I'm wrong, if you can change the temperature through it in the local chatbots. Okay, so to skim over these, smart home automation, Nest Cam IQ can use this, Amazon's Ring and Apple's HomePods, carbon tracking apps, tools like Klima, calculate and offset your carbon footprint, Earth Hero offers personalized actions, travel planning agents, travel planners like Layla build personalized itineraries, optimize routes, and handle bookings. Layla's engine finds the best flights, hotels, and activities, produces interactive timelines. Now, I built a custom GPT and have been working on mixing that and combining that with an MCP that can connect to backends of already established travel websites that can then pull information directly, and then utilizing so it can basically not hallucinate. There's a beach in Portugal that doesn't exist. It just creates this beach, and it gives you this amazing story about how this beach and how it's been so widely, and you go there and you're like, there's no beach. This restaurant
you're in the middle of a city.
It literally just fabricates, and it's like, oh, this sounds good.
Yeah.
So
this sells. Yeah.
So and then genealogical research. Genealogists using ChatGPT to compile ancestor biographies, that's something that I wouldn't have even considered. But you have, for example, I just came across a news article about researchers at one of the top universities for replacing lithium-ion batteries. It turns out magnesium, calcium, they ran hundreds of thousands of simulations, and it was able to find, there's actually better components. Instead of discharging with one
I think it was salt, I believe, but I'm not
So
sure.
zinc, calcium, magnesium. So they have the properties of like being able to discharge with like not just one, but like 3 cells. I fact check me on that. So after assessing 20 such opportunities, I filtered them based on your interests, values, and practical relevance. The top ranked ideas are scored on impact, ease of adoption, novelty, to compute a leverage score of impact times novelty divided by in open bracket ease plus 1 close bracket. Top 10 high leverageable AI ideas. Metabolic health and wearable AI coach. Impact 9 out of 10. Ease 5 out of 10. So the higher the score, the easier it is. Novelty 8 out of 10 with a leverage score of 12. Now, of course, you can copy this table and just copy and paste it into any kind of sheet that you want, so Google or Excel or whatever sheet, tool. So you can just take that there and you got something like that. For example, we could take this into Napkin AI or Beautiful AI and create a really cool visual based on that. So personal knowledge base with retrieval augmented, so RAG AI, 9, 6, and 8 with a leverage score of 10. So obviously this is going in descending order. So
what's the least one?
Smart travel and itinerary planner, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is trying to do that. But to really, for people focusing, like a lot of people, myself included, have to realize that we're going up against billion-dollar companies that can just generate this with their tens of thousands army of developers. And
that's true.
Like the whole builder AI fiasco. Are you aware of that?
I heard about it, mate, but I'm thinking about other stuff. Like you have what you just said. Like we are fighting against multi-billion-dollar companies, which are fighting with each other, actually investing billions into this industry, and we're just using their tools. So, are we really fighting with them? I don't think so. I just think we are just benefiting from their fighting.
We're benefiting
with themselves.
But if you want to stand out and you want to really, make noise or actually solve a problem that people are a lot of these apps that are actually really good, they're with founders or people who are just vibe coding stuff and really good premise, but just completely unknown. And that's a whole different beast, because my network is vast with founders, entrepreneurs, corporation people, and there's a resounding theme with entrepreneurs who are, the grind is real, but the grind is different than working for one company, because the person or the company that is paying you can let you go in a moment's notice. And you can work 16-hour days for that company for that really, sizable paycheck. But at the end of the day, you've got, either a burnout to show for it and some good cash. But the grind of 16 hours on your own business and your own idea, you have to, I have myself, a multitude of reality checks of what I think is cool, what I think is working, isn't what people need. So
can you give an example or not? Just one.
Creating content, thinking people I like this, so this people will think this is interesting too. Turns out no, it's not because I'm boring, it's just the content is just not relevant. So going, okay, take a step back. What is working? What do people need? What skills do I have? How can I cater to that community? And instead of spreading myself too thin, just focusing on people saying, oh, I don't care about your AI. I'm like, that's cool, unfollow me. Because
exactly.
If you are trying to cater, pander to every audience, you're going to reach nobody, which, some of my first videos were, I wanted to get into the YouTube scene. So I just started making reaction videos to K-pop. I didn't know how to react.
I don't want to say anything, but I remember that time.
Yeah, it's painful, but also...
It was actually not that bad. But I know what you're trying to tell. It was so everything that who did you want to read? I can imagine that one. You're going a little bit off topic. I don't mind that. we can talk about your K-pop adventures from a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
But what does it else give to you? This prompt. Continuous learning.
Personal knowledge base and retrieval augmented AI. I won't go into too much detail about these, but this is basically why it matters, the technologies and the tools, the actionable steps that you can take, the challenges and mitigations, and the continuous learning micro-tutor. Why this matters, for example, your curiosity and need for up-to-date knowledge can be served by an AI that curates learning materials, creates quizzes, and summarizes research. Generative AI can synthesize content and act as a personalized tutor, similar to how Notion Q&A helps you navigate knowledge. This idea extends to micro-learning. So using OpenAI, it's saying GPT 4.0, but like you can use any, Claude, Anthropic's Claude, flashcard tools like Anki, augmented with AI, summarization services, so Perplexity, and scheduling assistants like Reclaim to allocate learning time. To continue on.
I like for AI-driven sustainability and carbon tracker. That's really relevant. You see that more and more companies who are actually in the e-commerce or in the transport industry, they have very much difficulty tracking actually it's their carbon footprint or their CO2 emissions on a daily basis, even on an hourly basis. And it's all a lot of manual input. So that this would actually be a very big help for all of these companies.
Yeah, so you've got 5 apps that help you track and offset your carbon emissions. So you've got Earth Hero, and Commons, and Klima. So those are coming from causeartist.com. It's a cited source, and you can just click on the link, and it will take you to. I think this is run by Klima, but here you go. So you have the
personal guide. Yeah,
exactly. So embrace a cleaner lifestyle with Commons. Earth Hero makes acting on climate change easy. It helps you take positive, practical action in response to the climate emergency while discovering more satisfying ways to live.
So AI helps here.
Yeah.
Scary.
AI nutrition and fitness planner, similar things. So technologies will obviously be using the tools themselves. Actionable steps 1, 2, and 3. Challenge and mitigations. Adaptive home automation security.
That's interesting.
And then we're starting to go slowly down the list of like
financial quotes. Yeah,
exactly. So the same old things. And then you go. So the reflective prompt. There we are at the end. These high leverage ideas span health, knowledge, sustainability, finance, genealogy, well-being, and travel, reflecting your diverse interests. Which of these ideas resonates most strongly with you? Are there particular domains, so health, finance, creativity, family history, where you like even deeper exploration, or hands-on implementation guidance? So in it, I provide a comprehensive analysis of your preferences and design high-leverage, unconventional AI strategies tailored specifically to your habits and goals.
Interesting. If you'd like assistance implementing any of them. Yep.
Yeah. So, and that's when you can, go through and really think hard. And because I used, if I'm not mistaken, I used agent mode for this one. That's a requested report. So yes, I used agent mode, and here you can see the workflow it did. So you can replay it.
So actually the way how it thinks, right? Or read the data where it goes to
no, this is an agent. This is agent mode inside GPT.
Oh wow.
Now going through and creating a comprehensive analysis, and it worked for 5 minutes. So you can literally, especially in agent mode, if you're on the plus plan, which is $20 a month or $25 a month, it will give you 40 agent mode actions for 1 month. And so use them sparingly. So understand how they work first before just willy-nilly going, oh, this is cool. And then you're out of it for the entire month. But the $200 a month gives you 400 actions. And one of my clients used 200 actions in 2 days. And all I could think was,
oh my God,
was that utilized to the best of its ability?
Because I don't think so.
So as you can
That-
see, it's running through, and like the mouse, like if this would be like a person's mouse. So
Yeah.
it's all quite neatly packed, and throughout you can take over the browser as well.
I think in the next time, or not in the next time, but once we go live again,
On our next stream.
we can do a little bit of a deep dive into this.
The thing is, we can do a deep dive on so many different.
I know you have said so many things today that where to start next.
Because that's the thing, is the one key takeaway I can say: don't try and understand everything. Just try and understand a few, and then build on those. Whether it's helping in your personal life, whether it's helping in your professional life, if you're having pushback from friends, family, whatever, try and expose them as much as possible. If they are vehemently against AI, that's cool. But if they're a business owner, they're going to struggle, because
they shoot themselves in the foot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for example, just even so, it's going through agent mode here. I've got a chat assistant on my website that I'm still programming for it to work properly. So give me a question to ask.
The question, what can, or why would I go in business with EKB Labs?
Let's see how unrefined it is. That's a great question. For detailed information about your specific situation, I'd recommend speaking with Elliott directly. Would you like me to help you schedule a free consultation?
Yeah.
And now when I was saying this with just yes, I would be met with the same thing. So I need to refine that and say, yes, I would like you to schedule a free consultation. And then it will send. I'd love to schedule a 15-minute consultation with you, with Elliott. You can book directly here. So it doesn't give a hyperlink out. It just shows the plain text as a URL, which is, pretty janky, but it gets the point across.
It's fun. You just said as well that you're building it further and refining it all together, right?
Yeah.
But just look at the detail of this website. I really like it.
Thank you.
The speed it goes.
It took a little while, but had to run through quite a number of iterations, and so setting up the newsletter where you can set up with your company optional. It's got the links that actually link out correctly. So for example, if it was to open a new tab, it goes links directly to my personal LinkedIn.
Beautiful.
For YouTube, for GitHub, for Instagram, and the Twitter icon is not X, I know, but I thought
I think we all remember the old days of the Bluebird, right?
The Bluebird, yes. So, all right. So I think that is quite a lot of information that has been discussed today.
Quite a few words have been said as well.
For anybody that has joined the live stream, thank you very much for joining, and it's been a pleasure too. Even if you gained any sort of valuable insight, that'd be fantastic. If you want to contact either Michael or myself, just reach out to us on LinkedIn. Michael is Michael Sabonnier, with an S. Let me get this right. Savonjie.
100 points. That's actually impressive. and when are you going live again?
Right now, it is scheduled for Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central European Summer Time.
Perfect.
Figure out what that is in whatever time zone you are. If need be, use AI to create a tool that can always tell you, even if you don't push it to any production somewhere, you can just use that. Or Google time right now, X place.
Exactly.
So thank you so very much for the conversation today, Michael. It's been an
Thank you
absolute
as well.
pleasure. I look forward to discussing in more deep dives. Potentially, we're going to even scale up to multi-hour streams because there's just I didn't even touch on the one thing I wanted to cover, which was the Google AI Studio and the improvements that they have made with the video overviews. But hey, we'll leave that for another day.
We leave that for Tuesday.
Yeah. So, good morning, good evening, and goodbye from Elliott.
Have a great day. Have a great evening or morning, indeed.
All right. So, goodbye, everybody.
Ciao.